Hi, everyone. I am Raymond Sharp. This is my lovely wife,
Tanisha Sharp.
and we're here to jump in. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Today, we want to discuss the quality of your relationships. Again, the quality of your relationships. We oftentimes people like to say how long they've been doing something. How oh, I've had my kids are well grown. Oh, I know what it's like to parent. But they have longevity, but they haven't captured the essence of the quality of the relationship. I've seen it firsthand. There's examples of people who say, "Oh, I've been with my old lady for 20 years. I've been with her for 15 years. We've been together for 10 years." But if you really talk to them, they are in position where they really have a poor quality of relationship. They argue all the time. They fight all the time. And if you really talk to them, the first maybe 6 months to a year of the relationship was good, and the rest has been a complete fight and struggle against one another. So today we want to just simply jump in and discuss what it means to have a very good quality of relationship.
So when you think of quality, you think of okay, like you said, not longevity, because that's
Mhm.
sometimes how we kind of measure up, but quality. So quality time,
Mhm.
being present,
Mhm.
also, you know, the level of honesty in the relationship.
Mm. Mhm.
Because
That's
if you
good.
be honest with ourselves, if you're honest with yourself, you won't be in that relationship too long if it's not.
Yeah.
It's true honesty, if it's meant, if
Mhm.
it's a good fit, if that makes sense. And so the level of honesty and trust is huge. I mean, that shows a high level. So if you have to hide everything, if you can't give your partner or person your phone,
Mhm.
then what do you really have? Like if you're always hiding, or you're afraid to expose,
Mhm.
or you're afraid to tell them something about yourself. So I would think that would like lessen the quality because it's like it's not as good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
not as good. Trouble is not an indication that something's wrong. So trouble and conflict sometimes is a good thing because if you can work through it, that's wonderful.
Right.
But if you keep going through the mountain round and round and round again, then that may not be a good indication that you have a quality relationship.
Mhm.
So are we overcoming our challenges? Are we working together? Can we communicate?
Right.
Can we listen to understand?
Mhm.
Like where are our disagreements going?
Mhm.
I mean, is there ever a solution? Or we just avoid it and we just come back to it another time? Or we continue to go through the same cycles?
Mhm.
So those things to me, kind of add up to like the quality of a relationship. That's what I.
No, that's all very good. And one thing that you said that's very key, and I would say very important, is when you look at the quality of time. Are you present? When you say are you present?
Yeah.
Some people, and I think it depends on what the other person needs from you in the relationship. Because our relationship is such that we spend so much time together that we could be in the same room and do two different things, but we're right next to each other, and like we're still talking, communicating, but we both may be working at the same time. I fight to spend time with my wife because of it's challenging sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
But I fight. I try my best to get home as soon as I can.
Mhm.
Not only to spend time with my wife, but my children as well. And one thing I want to talk about is, especially as your children get older, I have been used to my kids, and thankfully, thank God, to this day, they still meet me at the door when I come home. That's something that I really I'm grateful for. They're happy to see me. But I would say in particular with my oldest, he's becoming more independent. And at first I'm like, man, this dude don't, we're good, but he doesn't like, he'll say, hey dad, and then go do his own thing. So I'm like, all right, let me kind of change up how I'm doing things with him because again, I want quality of relationship. I don't just want to know I got a good relationship with my son. I do want to spend time with him. So I'm starting to put myself in his environment, put myself in the space of his independence. So like he likes hanging up in the bonus room. So I'm finding myself, hey, what you doing up here? Not to be nosy, but like, hey, I'm like, hey, you mind if I come in, spend some time with you? You're like, oh yeah. So to me, it's like we have to, even as our kids get older, I know some of our peers complain, oh, they kind of, isolating themselves. Well, put yourself in the place of the isolation. And I don't think they're trying to really isolate, like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. It's just, as they get older, they are becoming more independent and recognizing that and putting yourself in that space so you can still spend time with them. And, me and my son, we didn't talk a whole lot. We was watching the movie. I just like, you mind if I watch this movie with you? It was an interesting movie. We talked about it at the end a little bit. And that was, that's emblematic of our relationship. That's what we do. We talk a lot when we are, but again, put yourself in the position where you can, be in their environment. Some kids, they just like to be in the room playing the games, jump on the game with them, even just sitting there and talk to them while they're playing. There's different things that you can do without, in these days and times, kids are growing up different than we grew up. And even still, I grew up different than my mom and my dad grew up as far as some of the things that we engage with. So we have to create opportunities. And again, that goes back to the quality of the relationship. I have a relationship, just by birth that I'm their father. But beyond that, as they get older, as they evolve and become adults, what would that relationship look like, even as they go off to college and eventually get married and have families of their own. So I think that's very important that we step with them in a sense. We progress with them in their stages and not say, well, I used to do all that. They're grown now. And I still want to have, loving, close-knit relationship with my children well into their adulthood.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I've been finding myself going to Brielle's room, our daughter's room. And sometimes when she's watching stuff, I'll have those teachable moments. Okay, so what does this mean? What, trying to find out what she's into and how she looks at certain situations based off of what she's watching. So there's always 2 teachable moments with certain situations and some of the movies that they're watching and stuff like that. And just really being able to help them navigate and mentor them, as you're spending time with them and continue to build on your relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so certain conversations won't be foreign or awkward, because you're used to talking about the tough stuff, the stuff that most parents may want to avoid. Let's talk about it. I want to know what's going on. I want to know how you feel about certain topics and issues and, and find yourself getting into their world.
Yeah.
Not being their friend.
Mm-hmm.
Not being their friend, but in a more of a mentor, adult form of advising and giving them some recommendations and stuff like that, where they can be like, what, that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to jump back into our discussion about relationships real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important that we identify very early on why we are in a relationship with someone. I think that sometimes people, again, they go back, they talk about the longevity, going back to the quality. And I think that some people experience a poor quality of relationship because their needs are not being met just by the very fact of why the other person got in a relationship with them. It could be, okay, well, I'm getting older now. I don't want to be by myself. He's interested. At least give me somebody to travel with, spend time with. And you're getting your needs met, but this other person, there's not a kind of like a cohesion or an equal plane as far as why we're getting in this relationship. And I think that's why some people, they may have been together for a long time, but the quality of the relationship, I feel that there's some that are, getting in relationships because they need help with their kids. To be quite honest with you, and
that's about that honesty.
Yeah, it's being honest.
Be honest.
Can you be honest with
being
and I think it comes from communication. It's like you're smitten with someone, but you're smitten with them for 2 different reasons. This person may look at you and adore you, and the other person like, "Ooh, I got help." This person can help me with my bills. This person can help me with the kids. This person can help me cook. And especially as we get older, if there's a occurrence of medical issues, some people may look at the person, she's very skillful, she's very patient, she's very kind, she can help take care of me.
Nurturing.
She's nurturing as I'm struggling with my health.
Wow.
And that person, again, we have to look at ourselves first and say, hey, who am I in this relationship? And am I good for this person? Not are they good for what I need, but are they good for that person? Because there will come a time of realization that, this person is not good for me. This is
or somebody else comes along and like
not only that, I think some people, they we always talk about how people end the relationship in their mind before they end the relationship in the physical as far as severing it. So some people come to realization that this is not the right person for me, and then they go to strategize on how they're going to exit and end the relationship.
And it's devastating for the other person.
Yeah, not only that, but it's devastating when you learn the truth about the person that you're with. Even if it's the truth that you realize, not the truth that they told you. So again, if you want to have a good quality of relationship, honesty is the best policy. I can tell you without a doubt that tremendously helped my wife and I over the course of many stages of our relationships, one thing we always endeavor to do, good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to be honest with each other, how we feel, how we think, where we are, and what we need from one another.
So I have a thing too. So if someone's honest and it may seem to be negative, like, I want help financially, and the person said, okay, if this is the type of relationship
that is their choice.
That's their choice.
You didn't make that choice for them.
Yeah, at least you gave them the opportunity.
You gave them an opportunity
to make that choice.
Absolutely. And some people are okay with that.
Yeah.
And some people, that's their expectation.
Honest.
But not just so. That's a loaded question, because that's an aspect of, if I'm in a relationship with you, the way I was raised, you need to, provide.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, just on the simplest form. My mom told me when I was in high school not to invite anyone, especially a young lady. Don't invite a young lady anywhere. Say that you're going on a date and you can't take care of everything that you're going to do with that young lady. That was baseline. That's how my mom trained me. And I completely agree with that to this day. I don't do 50-50. Sometimes my wife she jokes sometimes now. She's like, "Oh, I got it," but it's coming out the same account. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
But with that, and the other side of it, I tell my daughter now that if a guy asks you out, always make sure that you have enough money to pay for yourself. And even if you say, "Oh, I ain't paying for this," or "I'm going 50-50," no, it's okay. I got mine. And I said, you call me, you call your brother, you call your uncle, you call your cousins. We'll come get you. Don't put yourself in compromising situation behind money. Don't even think, that's not even a thing for you. You let us know, and we definitely got your back in that regard. But I'm just saying, in regards to, being in a relationship, finances is a part of it, but there's some people that only look at you solely financially.
Yes,
not a part, but that's the whole.
And it's like, you have to accept the fact that they might not love you like you really want to be loved. They you may not get all the benefits of being in a relationship.
Yeah. But for some people, that's okay. They just like having you around. You may, quote unquote, be eye candy.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have to look at why. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
layered.
Yeah.
So we don't want to specify for a particular, but just in general, that can be the quality can.
I would say this. One of the best things someone told me was, that they was like, "Look, I'm not looking for nothing serious. I just want to have fun." And I said, "What is that fun? What does that mean to you?" And they explained it.
That's a good question.
And now I listened to them. I was like, "Man, I like you, but this is not going to work." And she's like, "That's cool. I respect that."
But at least you got to understand it, because sometimes,
up front.
sometimes my fun and your fun may be different.
You're two completely different types of fun.
So we got to be clear about what do you mean by being, having fun? What do you mean by paying my bills? Like, what do you mean? I mean, really ask, find out really what all this, what they mean when they say certain things, because you don't want to assume anything.
Not at all. Yep.
Yeah, but that's all I have here for today.
That's all I have for today. We hope that you enjoyed this session of Jump In. We also want to encourage you. We have started a membership program. If you would like more information, check the comment section below. We hope that you all enjoyed this session of Jump In. Again, I'm Raymond Sharp.
And I'm Tanisha Sharp. And until next time, we want you to what?
Jump in. Y'all take care.